Hey everyone, it's Sanni. This is going to be a quick little series of, I would say, January Detox, detoxing your makeup type series. So I'm going to make a few videos. I often get asked how I clean my makeup brushes, also how I disinfect and take care of my makeup, because it's important for you if you work as a makeup artist professionally, but also on a personal level to kind of keep your makeup looking nice and tidy and clean. So I often get asked those questions, and I thought January would be the perfect time to kind of detox, also a little bit of declutter. In the last video, I'm going to talk about, stuff that I throw away and when I throw them away. But I'm going to start off with the basic how I clean my makeup brushes. And at the end of the video, I'm going to quickly run through what I've got on my face, but that's to the very end. So let's get on with the brush maintenance. So I probably clean my makeup brushes more than most people because I am a makeup artist and I've got tons of brushes. So sometimes it feels like I'm cleaning makeup brushes. That's the only thing I do. And I have three main ways that I clean them, and you can do any of these at home. Some are quicker, some take a little bit longer. So the first one, and the most kind of thorough one, I would say, is washing makeup brushes. The second one is using a brush cleanser, like a quick on-the-spot cleanser. And the third one is even quicker than that, and that's using isopropyl alcohol. So these are the three ways that I clean my makeup brushes, and I'll show you each one of them now, and I'll also talk to you about the benefits and like the pros and cons of doing every single one of these. Now, I see a lot of very dirty makeup brushes in my life. Not my brushes. I'm quite diligent about cleaning them, but I have seen a lot of very dirty makeup brushes. And if you're using them personally, just for yourself, a good rule of thumb is you need to clean them about once a week. But if you are using kind of like gel eyeliners, if you're using any kind of like Makeup Forever's Aqua Seal or Illamasqua Sealing Gel, anything that will harden the brushes up, it's good to wash them straight away. I often like just the brushes that I use on myself, I often just spot clean them right when I'm using them because it's just easier and it keeps them nicer. So I'm going to start off with the brush washing technique. Now the good thing about this is everybody's got soap and water, and you can be quite gentle with it and you can get them really clean, but the downside is it takes time for them to dry. Now you can, first I'll show you how to clean my brushes, and then I'll show you the two different ways that I dry them.
So when I'm washing makeup brushes, I usually have a little glass and I put hand soap in it and the brushes I like to wash. And they kind of stand on the side, and I take the first brush. I never fill it too full because you just want the bristles to be in there. Then I take some more soap and I create a foam on my hand. I'm being quite gentle with this, and I keep squeezing the bristles so that the soap comes out and the makeup comes out. And I add a little bit more soap and kind of repeat it again. It's really important to be super gentle here, so don't be pressing the bristles too hard. So all the movements I'm using are just super gentle, and you're kind of pressing all the soap out, and then you press gently to get rid of all the water. When I'm washing foundation brushes, I tend to actually use washing up liquid for dishes because it is a little bit stronger and it's better getting rid of the grease. So I put a little bit of that on my hand, and then I do the same kind of motion. I create a little bit of foam and on my hand and then rinse it. I do like to rinse the water quite clear in between soap so that you get rid of as much of the makeup as possible. I do always finish with hand soap because I somehow just feel like it's more gentle. You can use shampoo as well. I often use like old shampoos that I no longer like to use on myself. I use it to wash brushes, and that's excellent. So again, really rinse the brush super well. I often let the soapy water do half of the job, so I'm really like moving the brush around. When I get it out, I rinse everything I can off it again. And this is a eye blender brush, and they really create great foam. So when you're using a hand soap, you really get like a good foam, and be very gentle and work with the bristles again. and then do it under the water. And with this kind of brush, like a blender brush, anything fluffy, it's important to get rid of all the soap again. But this is basically how I wash all of my brushes, in a very similar fashion. I often air dry the brushes by placing them on the table with the bristles hanging over the edge.
Now, a really great way to dry brushes is to use one of these. It's the Benjabelle brush tree. I'll put a link below my video where you can get these. I think they deliver everywhere in the world. I've got 2 different sizes. This one's the bigger one, and it fits all these very big brushes. If you're using it for smaller brushes, you kind of put several in one, but it's great because the bristles really they're not laying flat, they're all pointing down, so it really keeps the shape of the brushes very well. But both of the methods for drying that I just showed you, it does take time, you know. There's no way to speed it up. Sometimes if my radiators are very, very low, I'll put a towel, because here in Paris we have kind of those wide radiators. Put a towel on top of them and put the brushes on top. I don't do that too often. But yeah, it does take time for the brushes to dry. A second way to clean brushes is to use one of these brush cleaners, and these you actually dry quite quickly. My favorite is the kind of very standard Max brush cleaner. I've tried lots of different brands and I always come back to this. It does, in personal use, this bottle will last you a very long time, and it is, I mean, it's quick and it's efficient. It does get rid of dirt, it does get rid of foundation as well, but the brushes do remain a little tiny bit damp afterwards. So that's something to take into account. So if you're a makeup artist working on the job, I usually, if the brushes need to be dry immediately for the next person, then I use the last method. But I'll show you how to do this one first. So I always use kitchen towel. What I do is, some people put a spray on this. I don't. I just put a little bit, whoa, on the kitchen towel. Then I take a brush that I just used on myself, and all I do is just clean it until no more color comes out. And then I move to the dry part and it's clean. So it is actually quite an easy and simple way. I tend to turn it around between brushes. As you can see, there's some of the color that I just used. Sometimes especially with glitter is always a pain to get rid of brushes. I'll get a little bit more. Well, it finally seems to have left the building. And then again, I go on to the dry part. And it is important to get rid of that moisture in the brush. Now, I would say that the brushes will remain damp for about 10 minutes, 20 minutes if it's a bigger one. Let me just get the bigger one. Here's a blush brush. 20 minutes maybe if it's a bigger brush. And so if you need to use it straight away, a big brush, I literally just do this. Because it does stick to the bristles a little bit, so it is important that if you need to use the brushes straight away, this isn't your ideal way of cleaning brushes if you're on the job. But on a kind of personal note, like when I'm just doing my own makeup, I tend to get a little bit of kitchen roll out, put it on my vanity, and as I'm using them, I clean the brushes and put them back onto my brush containers. And especially with the bigger brushes, it's really important to get all of that moisture out so that they dry and you're kind of smoothing the bristles down as well. And I tend to lay them down, and then when I'm done with my makeup, I put them in. I'll show you. There's a couple of dirty brushes in here that I just used. After that, I put them into one of these. Now, the quickest way and easiest way, but it is not necessarily the nicest for natural bristles, is isopropyl alcohol. I buy it in a huge, this one is by Kryolan, huge containers, because I do go through a lot of this. I also use it for disinfecting makeup on the go, so it does get a lot of use. But if you're, you can get these in smaller sizes as well. Lots of, I mean, it is isopropyl alcohol, and what it does is it kills off all the bacteria as well. So it is amazing, amazing. But it is, it's drying, it's alcohol. So natural bristles on the long run, if you keep doing this, you will dry them out quite a bit. But I literally do the same thing. I get some of the alcohol on the tissue. And this one is, I would say, it is a more, I guess, efficient way of getting rid of makeup on brushes than the brush cleanser, because it's pure alcohol. But I always feel like it's gonna damage the bristles a little tiny bit. So that's why I don't suggest using it every single time you clean your brushes. But I do use it for spot cleaning, and I do use it, you know, when I need to just get brushes clean quickly, because it's pretty much immediately dry. So I can use it within a minute again, I would say. And also what the isopropyl alcohol is really brilliant for is brushes like this. So there is blush on a, this is cream blush on synthetic. And cream blush on synthetic is really difficult to get off, just like foundation on synthetic. So you're going to be, you know, taking it off forever and ever and ever. Now, alcohol is amazing for that. So what I often do is I first get rid of kind of most of it with the alcohol, and then I wash it. So that's kind of my preferred method of taking care of like cream blush or foundation or really caked on concealer in brushes. And again, I kind of dry it with dry tissue, and this literally I could use on somebody else, well, almost immediately. And the good thing is if you're doing makeup on people back to back, the alcohol will also disinfect all of your brushes, so you don't have to worry about, you know, the kind of the integrity of your brushes, because that will disinfect everything. So this was just my quick three ways that I clean my makeup brushes. If you got more ways, please put them down below. And next week I'm going to show you how I disinfect and clean my makeup at home and on the job, so that you get an idea of how to kind of keep all of that clean. So thank you so much for watching. This is a quick and easy kind of start to the new year. I just feel like January is all about detox. And if you don't want to hear what's on my face, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. And if you do, keep watching for a little bit longer. So on my face today, as a primer, I've got the Bourjois Happy Light, and this is the illuminating base sérum lumière, and I think this is in English, it means illuminated. Oh, it's in English on the other side. Luminous Serum Primer. And then I also have the Happy Light Luminous Flawless Complexion Foundation in this, I think is a 52, yeah, 52. Loving these. I read about these from Guru Beauty, Jodi 76. I'll put a link to her channel below. She's makes fantastic videos, and her skin was looking particularly great. So yeah, she did a review of these. Actually, I'll look for the video and I'll put it down below. So that's on my face. Then I have my Garnier roll-on under my eyes. And my brows I did with the Shavata Brow Perfector, and it has 3 colors that they're waxes that you can mix together. So it's really great because it keeps your brows, gives you the color and the hold at the same time. Then I have the Dior Skin Nude in 002 bronzer. This is great for when I'm at my palest, which is now, it's January. And then as blush, I have Chanel Cream Blush in Presage. And what, oh, here we go. I did use this one. It is the MAC Soft and Gentle Mineralized Skin Finish as a highlight. And then my eyes are super simple. I used Giorgio Armani Eyes to Kill. I'll show you, such a gorgeous color, on kind of like the inner part of my eyelid. And this is in number 7. And then the rest of it, the kind of bronzy color, is this amazing Milani color, and it is called Copper Excess, and I absolutely love this. And then I also used a tiny bit of Urban Decay's 24/7 pencil in Scorch, just in my waterline and just on the outer corner. My mascara is Miss Manga Mega Volume. I've got extensions on the upper lashes. And then on my lips, I have the Dior Brown Fig lip liner. I combined it with MAC's Shy Girl lipstick. Love that one. And the Dior gloss, the Dior lip polish in 001. And so that is all I have on my face. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again next week for some more makeup detox. Bye.